Welcome to Midnight Menu Plus One. I'm Ray Canada.
And I'm Margot Moss.
Midnight Menu Plus One is a part of the New Orleans podcast family of shows found at itsneworleans.com. We meet here just about every Monday night here at Ted's Frost Top to chat, gossip, explore, debate, wine, cheer, everything about New Orleans food. And each episode we ask just one special guest from the city's restaurant and food community to join us. They in turn surprise us by bringing along a mystery guest, a plus one. We never know exactly who that mystery guest is going to be. I'm hoping it's going to be William Shatner tonight, but we'll see. In any case, we do know who the main guest is, and I am very excited. Hugo Montero will be joining us. Margot, isn't that great? From Casa, Borrega.
Absolutely.
I am very excited. But before he does, Margot, I want to share about my dinner last night. I don't know if you've been there yet, I finally got to go to that new Basin restaurant, a magazine, about the 3000 block. I went with my wife and with my friends Shane and Kim, and it wasn't perfect, but we had a good experience. We really did. We liked it a lot. That place, that whole block is just hopping, and my wife had some of the seared wahoo. I thought that was pretty good. Not something you get all the time. And my friend got the they call it the Aflac. It's the duck. and and I got a fried seafood platter. It was not like you would get at Howard Johnson's, though. It was a little bit better than that. And it had all kinds of stuff. I'd say the one thing that was surprising about it is the portion size. There was no indication by price how big the portion size was going to be, because all the entrees were in the same range, like $21 to $24. But like some of them were not large. And then mine was like massive. Like mine, I really struggled to finish it. It was enormous, and but I felt like I had to finish it. And I tried a little bit of everybody's, and I really liked it a lot. It was good.
Awesome.
So, and of course, I was here at Ted's on Sunday for the monthly car show. I had a blast, as always. I love that. It's my favorite thing to do at Ted's. And I had some fries and burger with that too, and that was also great. How about you? Did you do anything exciting food-wise this week?
Well, I just got back from New York.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I did
That's
a lot of
super.
exciting food things. I ate things that we don't get here as much.
What'd you do?
I went into Chinatown in a place. I went up an escalator and went into a place that had 600 Chinese people eating breakfast, and
no English on the menu, one of those kind of places?
I didn't get a
Super
menu.
cheap.
They just came around with a cart.
Oh,
and then you just pointed to what
cool.
you wanted, and
Cool.
that was amazing. And I had Thai food and a little Korean food.
In the same place?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Oh, so you did like an Asian tour of New York for the weekend, huh?
I tried to do things that that I really like and that we don't
get
have
as much
huge
here.
selections of.
Right.
So it was incredible. And I went into Williamsburg.
Oh, that's fun. That's
And,
one of my good friend Vito's neighborhoods. Yeah, that's fun. That's a fun
It was
neighborhood.
really neat.
Yeah.
So I had a great time. But
Cool. Yeah, all the Chaim Potok novels used to be set there. All the remember those?
No.
They made Robbie Benson movies out of them.
I don't know.
Okay, never mind. Remember Robbie Benson? He was on the cover of Tiger Beat all the time when we were kids. No, you don't remember this? All right, never mind. He was just ethnic enough looking that he could play like any nationality. So he'd be like Chicano in one movie, the next one be like a Hasidic Jew, and then the next one he'd be and but I don't think he was good at any of them as I remember. But I don't know. It was a career for him. I don't know what he's doing now. Well, anyway. I think without further delay, it's time to introduce our special guest, because I see him here, and I don't want to hear any more about this. I want to hear about him. So he was a performance artist who once was described as a cross between Van Gogh and Van Halen. And when the flames and the smokes cleared, he turned 93 cans of Krylon spray paint, some Scratch 45s, mustard bottles, and a brazier into masterpieces that would make Kandinsky envious. And now he's taken that genius to Mexican cuisine at Casa Borrega, on the hot, revitalized corridor of O.C. Haley in Central City. And I'm really excited to have with us our special guest tonight, Hugo.
Hey, it's such a pleasure.
Hugo, so good to have you here. Hugo Montero.
Yeah, well, I just have a great hamburger. And as I say, I don't eat dinner, so it's like my first hamburger in 2 years.
What do you mean
guess.
you don't
First
eat dinner?
hamburger in 2 years. Well,
Yeah.
yeah. Back up with that. What do you mean?
Well, I'm like 52 right now, and I just want to keep healthy. I don't do the dinner. I do something that in Mexico you call almuerzo.
Does that mean dead?
Mexicans for, against like the whole agent with the Mexican against the cactus that is sleeping with the hat, and Mexicans work really, really hard. 4 or 5 in the morning, you have to go to downtown, which it will take you maybe about 2 hours, and then you get in the factory or whatever your place of work is. You don't have time for breakfast. No time for breakfast. Maybe a coffee, maybe a raw piece of bread, and then you actually have time for lunch, but the lunch is not technically a lunch. It's called an almuerzo. It's a heavy thing, maybe big piece of chicken, a big piece of meat, big piece of something, pork, plus the eggs, plus the tortillas, plus the
so it's a really big meal.
On one plate.
Ah.
One plate. So, then you keep going working, or you go to school, and we don't have like the panache of the French or the Spaniards that they spend all this time between 8, 9 p.m. to 1 in the morning eating on tables. We actually have to go back to the family, and you don't have time to eat again. What you do, maybe a little plate there with a drink when you have money on the weekend. So, basically, your main meal is the one that you eat about 11 to 1 p.m., and that will be enough for the whole day.
Wait a second. So you eat one gigantic plate of food around lunchtime, and that's pretty much all you eat all day.
And that will be
now, is that in all regions of Mexico?
No. That's in my hometown, this is how I grew up.
Okay.
This is how I.
And where
where was that?
Mexico City.
Mexico City. Okay.
Yeah, right now.
Well, it's not exactly like a backwoods place. That's 20 million people or whatever it is,
24
right?
million.
Yeah, 24 million, right?
million.
Yeah. So
right now, what you find is just like, in every single meter there is a little place where you can eat.
Right.
So people have a little bit of here, a little bit of that, but basically people is working. It's in school that they're busy. Food. It's not a lifestyle. It is part of the culture. Mexico is one of the very few cultures, 5 cultures, if I'm not wrong, on tangible contributions to humanity. We are one of the 5 cultures that is on tangible contributions to humanity, according the United Nations. The
United Nations.
Yeah.
Now, how does hold on a second. I'm not disputing it. I'm just wondering, how does the United Nations come up with that? Like, they got 188 states in the United Nations. Don't the other 183 get pissed off now that they're elevating 5 to that level and saying the other 83 are not as significant?
Well,
like, if you're from Zambia, don't you want to drop out now or something?
But what is
cut
that?
off your aid, boycott? No,
I don't understand, but I give you an example. Okay,
they have a new list every year.
No. Like just to say like in a small contribution. Who will get vanilla to the game? It came from Mexico. Who will came with the avocados?
Avocados?
Mexico.
Chocolate.
187 different peppers. Mexico. Chocolate,
yeah.
Yeah, when Ray Nagin say let's go to keep this city
the real chocolate city be Mexico City.
Absolutely.
That's the same thing I thought.
And when the immigrants came, like 50,000 Latinos on this circle waiting to renovate your house. That will be the real chocolate city, because chocolate was Aztec. So,
they renovated Nagin's house, I guarantee it.
Even Turkey. Moctezuma had turkeys. Turkey went from Mesoamerica to Europe, and then funny enough, we have a Thanksgiving thing. You don't believe me? Google.
All right, no,
Google
I believe
Wikipedia. If you don't believe me, turkeys are from Mexico.
Turkeys are from Mexico.
Yes.
Now you're going to tell me leprechauns are from Mexico too? No,
no. But la pelusa is, which is la olla pelusa.
Come on.
En la olla pelusa. It's just like California. It is a historical tale to tell you of the end of the rainbow, a wonderful event. Perry Farrell, the whole ritual de lo habitual. Yeah. It's just he's a loving Chicano, Latino Los Angeles culture.
This is what I do at New Orleans. I basically say anything the world wants to take credit for, it came through New Orleans first, just nobody knows. That's what you're saying with Mexico. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so one of us is right, or neither one of us is.
We are ethnocentric cultures. But one more thing. When Mexico was the new Spain, Louisiana was a territory of the New Spain, 51 years. 51 years. So
There we go.
technically, Mexico City was the capital
Of
Louisiana.
Louisiana. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Hmm?
Ah, nice.
51 years.
You win.
So, wait, let me. When did you leave Mexico City? How old were you when you the
20
first time you left?
25 years.
25 years old.
Yeah.
So you've been
And-
here almost 30 years, huh?
27.
27
Well,
years, okay.
you've been in New Orleans 27 years? No,
No, about 23.
23.
All right, so
And
so
I
pretty
always live
soon-
in the parish.
You
I
always
live in the
lived
quarter.
in the parish. You're
I-
Orleans proud?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Winter Marsalis, he was born here, but I have been living now longer than Winter Marsali or Sarah Neville. I live in the quarter. I pay
gotcha.
taxes in the quarter.
Yes.
I mean, like in New Orleans, pay taxes in the
Right.
quarter. My children, they're born and raised in New Orleans, and still, because the way how I look and my accent, I will never be a New Orleanian. I feel like a New Orleanian.
Okay, but let me tell you, don't take it personally. My
I
husband
understand.
is from Boston, and he still gets from people that he's not a New Orleanian.
Absolutely.
It has nothing to do with your
It's true.
accent or the way you look. People are, and to me, I think everyone that chooses to make New Orleans their home should be proud. Because that is more of a New Orleanian than someone that's born
I
here.
agree.
This
So,
is the
I
best
don't
show we've
care.
ever had.
I agree, Margo. I agree. Totally. Absolutely.
But I would like to know, so you left at 25 and you maintain that hard-working, like, one meal a day drive?
The whole
since-
political thing with immigration and that the people do not understand is that we are revitalizing the immigrant dream. I mean, I did my artist thing for many years. I did like the opposite, many guys work hard between 20 to 40 to 45, then, they start to have some leisure times and they start to take it easy. But I did the other. I travel, I love, I create, now in my old age that is still, I think I'm very healthy and I look good and my mind is clear. I'm going to work, and I'm going to work the next 15, 20 years of my life to
And that's why you got into the restaurant business? Because you're...
Exactly. I think that I can do it. And, when I read, like Adolfo Garcia on Upbeat Magazine saying, like, in this business, you die or you go in bankruptcy. I mean, I do respect. But personally, for me...
Wait, what did he say?
He say in this business, like restaurant business,
All right.
you die, or you have bankruptcy.
What does that mean?
You will never
By
be
the
able.
time
You will never be able to leave the business. I just
You
don't.
can't walk away from it?
Exactly.
He just did, didn't he? He
There
shut
you
down a
go.
place and he just sold another place.
Well,
he's
but
not out
he's still-
completely though.
yes,
Yeah, he's still got several more.
Yeah, I
Okay,
mean, when you see somebody like, do you remember that guy with the sandwich shop on Barona Street, on Central City? You say,
Oh
Ulysses?
yeah.
Euclid
Yeah, they're at
Justice?
the festivals every year with flyers showing they're going to reopen sometime soon.
Okay,
yeah.
he's in
Right.
Mississippi. He's retired in Mississippi.
Oh, that's sad.
I talked to him.
Everybody says it's so great.
I
It's so
talked
great.
to him, and he told me, dude, I make 200 sandwiches every day. I want to walk away. So I know that I can walk away. Many people, like in restaurants, they're too dramatic. I never work. I never service. I never was a dishwasher. I never was a waiter. I never anything with the restaurant business. But I know I can do it. I know that I can do it. I'm a total outsider.
Wait, yeah. So you went from artist, street artist, performance artist. We need to talk about that in a minute. But you went from that straight into owner of a sort of cutting edge, interesting Mexican place.
Yeah.
Well, tell us
how'd that happen?
what the dream behind the restaurant, or what your vision is behind the restaurant.
What happened is that my wife, Linda Stone, which is the founder of the Green Project, she's my inspiration.
Is
for
your
all
wife?
this.
You said.
Yeah. She's my wife. Sorry for my accent.
I'm just hard of hearing.
Yeah, I
too.
know.
That's-
So basically, she came to New Orleans, took a job with Global Green. She's the director for Global Green. I say, okay, we're going back to New Orleans. We were in San Antonio after Katrina, and I mean, I have my bias. I have my I was a little bit skeptical about going back to New Orleans. You know, I'm the kind of person that I do care about New Orleans. I like New Orleans, but I can live in Kosovo. I can live in Afghanistan. I'm the kind of guy that I can do it. I can live anywhere. As an immigrant, I can live anywhere. And I really know that. So I have my bias, I was pretty skeptical about coming back. She did it, then I came back like 5 months after, and I said, you know something? I don't think New Orleans needs another art show. I don't think we need a show of photographs after Katrina or a movie. I don't think we need that. I don't think we need another art show. I feel cynical about it. I feel with a moral compromise as an artist to do something that really matters. And I didn't want to write a book who was New Orleans Matters. Oh my God, I'm right now messing with holy territory of New Orleans. But you know something? I say, I'm going to do like the American dream. I'm going to have a little business. I'm going to live upstairs. I'm going to have an old truck, just like the old businesses from the 50s, which I have to say, I do love America. If you go to Casa Borrega is a mezcolanza, it's a blend of American culture with Mexico. I have all these pop icons all over, And I say, I'm going to open a business. I'm going to renovate a house. My field for many years was intellectual. I have a master's from Tulane, I was a street artist, You create things. I feel cynical. I feel like as a Mexican, as a Latino, I have to be with my compadres and rebuilding houses. So I did it in another level. I bought a house in Central City, beautiful house, 1892, and we renovated. I started the business, and I say, my ego.
Now you live above?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
My ego is not going to be well served, which is good. I need this as a therapy. Now I'm going to be, what do you need, sir? What do you need, ma'am? Can I help you? Can I do your stay better here? That is such an amazing thing. When the people just see me and I'm like serving people in New Orleans. That was the mantra that I want to do about opening Casa Borrega. Plus, being skeptical about Mexican cuisine in New Orleans as well.
Right. Oh, looks like your special guest is here.
Yeah.
Can you introduce her for us?
Yeah. Jessica Gall from Texas. She's my general manager at this moment, and she's my bartender. She's a friend. She's a friend of Casa Borrega. She's our friend of Linda, my friend. She's amazing,
Welcome.
Amazing.
You're very sweet for saying that.
Jessica
I have to
Gall.
say just Jess.
Jess Gall.
Just Jess.
Okay. No relation to Ryan Gall, the chef, right?
No.
Okay.
No relation whatsoever.
All right, he's my friend. All right. Cool. Well, glad to have
now,
you here.
how did you come to meet Linda and Hugo?
I actually just walked through the door one day and was accepted into their life, into their family.
And did you walk in with intent? Did you know where you were going, or you just were walking around Central City?
No, I wasn't. I had just left the old Absinthe House after 3 years of managing and bartending. And I was looking for something outside of the quarter with actually a very appreciative sort of business that would welcome me. And that was Hugo and Linda.
Huh. So how'd you meet them? You just walked in the door.
Just
you said.
walked in the door.
Okay.
And actually, I went through an interview thing with Hugo that probably lasted like 2 or 3 hours. It was, we just sat down and talked about art and music and everything lovely.
Did he have you make drinks and stuff too, or did he just take your word for it? Figured if you're in an old Absinthe house, he knew what you were doing.
He saw my resume and the awards I've won, and I'm a major part of Tales of the Cocktail here in New Orleans. I do a lot of volunteering and a lot of competitions. So I was.
So
very
you hired
interested.
as general manager right on the spot too?
No, I've been their bartender.
Okay.
I've been their bartender first off, and now I'm their general manager as well.
So you got promoted to that. That got added to your. Did you get a raise with that too?
I think I love them so much.
You want to stay with revolutions here.
I threw myself into it. Let's put it that
Okay.
way. I threw myself into it, and I took it to heart. with them.
Now, where do you live? Do you live nearby?
I'm uptown. I'm actually right down the street.
All right.
Right by Tulane.
Cool.
One of the things that I actually do with the people who wants to work with me, I feel the energy, some charisma. I mean, personality is really important for me, and the service attitude, but the charisma is very important, I don't really care you have blue hair or have a tattoo of Johnny Cash or an armadillo or a tattoo of Louisiana or Edwin Edwards with a new baby. I don't really care about that. I do not.
No, but that would be awesome. Let's admit it.
But
if somebody comes in with a neck tattoo of like Edwin Edwards with his new baby, you got to hire that person for something on some capacity.
They're going to kill me.
Yeah, right. They're going to kill you.
I was like, who's this guy? But anyway, but I make them read the menus in Spanish. She did really well.
What, just for the pronunciation?
Yeah,
or?
yeah.
Well, I'm from South Texas, so
all right.
I
But
actually
can't you
grew up
learn
with the
that, though?
kitchen.
You can learn pronunciation,
You can
right?
learn that, but I mean, when you say La Paloma or la Campiriña or La Verónica or tacos al pastor con cilantro y con cebolla, you have to be. It's like, I mean, do you remember no, you're too young, but you remember like 20 years ago when you used to go to a French restaurant and the guy actually did speak French.
Right.
And you read, it's just like that. It's just like that. People,
like Antoine's that only had the menu in French and all that.
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
I don't believe in real or authentic. But if you are real and you're authentic, please, you have to read the menu well. And I have to say, most of the girls who work with us, they are bilingual. They are very, very, very nice. They're very sweet. They're beautiful girls, and they are bilingual. They read perfectly.
That's awesome. Now, what percentage of your clientele then, like the folks that come in are Spanish speaking? I mean, do you have a lot of Mexicans that come to the restaurant, or is it mostly not?
Well, it's kind of tricky. Casa Borrega, it wasn't created for Latinos, for Mexican people. Linda and me, we want to create sort of like the atmosphere that the former Café Brazil used to have,
Right.
I mean, for me, it was unbelievable to see Tom Cruise there and next to him a homeless person,
Right.
Like that kind of place. Like we can have everybody there. And of course, in restaurants, it's difficult to create that. But I want to have everybody, But I have to say, we have 35% of Latinos that actually they are well educated. I mean, Tulane loves us,
Right.
The master's degree program, the doctors, they love us. They really love Casa Borrega. We have one of the greatest programs in Latin American studies in the country that is rivals Austin, So we have some adepts there. I mean, people that really like Casa Borrega. And because this is still an African American neighborhood, we are preferred by African American families and black professionals,
Right.
And the other is Caucasian. We have a lot of hipsters. We do love the hipsters.
A lot of
We do
hipsters,
love
yeah.
the hipsters, from the Bywater, we do love them, We do not discriminate. One of the things that I'm very strong with the ladies here, with the people who work in my restaurant, we do not take discrimination as a light issue. We do not supposed to discriminate,
Absolutely not.
and everybody is just so serious about it. I mean, but we're very happy to, we can joke. We're not like, but really, you are not going to be discriminated because you are gay or you are Mexican or you are Republican.
So if a gay Mexican Republican hipster comes in,
I don't know about
and he orders a PBR, and then he mispronounces everything on the menu.
I'll offer him a Mexican beer.
Sir, I am your slave. I'm on your knees. What else I can do for you? That's me, and she knows that.
Yeah,
That's me.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I have to
We're gonna
give
have to
Ray a
test this.
hard time
Uh-oh, what happened?
because Ray says Casa Borrega.
Yeah, you gotta fix
Casa
it.
Borrega.
Thank you.
Casa
Borrega.
Borrega.
learn
I
it in
can't.
an
I
hour,
Curl
though.
your
I can't
tongue
do
a
it.
little bit.
Borrega.
Borrega.
I'm a
Borrega.
terrible linguist anyway.
And Casa. Casa is house
Casa.
in
Right.
Spanish,
Casa,
and
and
Borrega
Same as
What
is
is
lamb.
House lamb.
House of lamb.
House of lamb.
Nice.
What is
Now,
the?
why is that?
Yeah.
Well, we actually cook a lamb in tequila overnight. It's a 12-hour process.
Wait,
It's a
it cooks
beautiful-
overnight?
It cooks
So
overnight.
that's a very low
in
heat,
a bottle
obviously.
of tequila, of course.
Okay.
Of course.
What temperature is that cooking at?
I'd say about
I'm not a
320.
cook. Yeah,
320?
yeah, 320.
320.
Yeah.
Overnight.
It's a
And
slow
what
cook.
is that
Now, is
called?
that a fire hazard?
Borrego.
Borrego.
Yeah.
So if
because-
you go in for like the plato de tacos or any like taco dish that we do serve, you're going to you can choose borrego. You can choose conchiga pibil.
Oh.
You can choose vegetarian, which
Right, chorizo
is very,
or whatever. right,
grilled
right. And
veggies.
this is like one
and-
of the choices.
no
Yeah.
chorizo. Chorizo
Oh, you don't eat
is
chorizo.
is for brunch on Sundays.
Ah.
We reserve that. Yes.
That's kind of
Well-
interesting because lamb sometimes is a brunch thing in some cultures for
We
Sundays.
have
Right.
we have lamb
You
for
know?
brunch as well. Yes.
Yeah.
But the
Oh.
chorizo is actually like a very lean form of chorizo, and it's wonderful. It's not the common American form, which is very fatty.
Oily and spicy.
We do a
and, yeah.
wonderful.
My wife has curly hair, and anybody in Latin America with curly hair is a borrego or a borrega. She has
Ah.
curly hair and she has blonde curly hair.
lamb.
So I call her borrega. Borreguita is her nickname. It's very sweet. Like in
Ah.
Spanish, it's very
really
sweet.
cute.
I'm not calling her lamb. It's kind of like calling somebody sweetie pie. It's really sweet.
It's a
So
term
she's
of
like la
endearment.
borreguita, and that's her house. So it's Casa Borrega. But the borrego,
That's
but the
romantic.
borrego, but the borrego too is the animal for wealth, money in Mexico. Like, cause it's la lana. Lana is mula, is money. So like the borrego
It's an expensive meat.
is no.
Oh.
Like
It's
the animal
symbolic
is
of-
a symbolic, like the little cat for the Asians.
Of wealth.
You know, like the cat with the hand like that.
Ah.
The borrego,
Mm-hmm.
the borrego is the sacred animal for wealth and money. And
Do you have any borregos in there? You must.
yeah, I
it
have
in
I
your-
have like
yeah.
two or three. I have like
Yeah.
two or three, but no one really knows. And the borrego has to do to I'm not very religious. I do respect, of
I was
course.
going to say, as soon as I heard it, I started.
It's like
thinking
the Lamb of
theologically.
God.
Yeah,
It's like the
exactly.
Lamb of
Yeah,
God.
That's the first thing I
Exactly.
thought.
Which-
Agnes Dei or whatever.
Yeah, which
Right.
has to do too. Even even like in England, with the lion and the lamb, sort of like the power and the compassion and the merciless. It's
Right.
just, it's a very huge concept, the Casa Borrega thing. I will never name my restaurant Cristina's or Rodrigo's or I don't want to say Pepe's or like or like a brand of a beer,
El Gringo.
Pacifico, Bohemia.
But it's really awesome in Casa Borrega, though. You will see the love that Hugo shows to Linda as well. They dance
Aw.
regularly, and
Ah.
the band will be playing, and he invites her to dance. It's a very wonderful
Okay.
term of
y'all
endearment.
She got
play
a raise.
music
She got a raise. She got a raise. Totally.
Every sentence here could be a rabbit trail. But okay, let me back up. So, how long have you been married to Linda?
We have been married for 10 years.
10 years. Okay.
Yeah.
So you met her here.
Yeah,
In New
here
Orleans.
in New Orleans.
Okay.
Dancing in Cafe Brazil.
Dancing.
In
Where?
Cafe Brazil. Cafe Brazil.
Oh, Cafe Brazil.
Yeah.
Oh.
They're very good dancers.
Yeah.
Both of you are. Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
We have live
Wow.
music in Casa Borrega.
Okay, that was my next question. I was going to ask.
Friday
you just
and
alluded to that.
Saturday,
Friday and
7:30
Saturdays. What kind of
to
music?
11. Cuban, Latin jazz.
We have people like Alex McMurray, that is a friend of
Yeah,
Casa Borrega.
yeah,
We had
He's
the
great.
iguanas
Yeah,
as
yeah, yeah.
well.
Ah,
Yeah.
the iguanas. Wow. Okay.
We have Paul Sanchez too.
Huh.
We have Steve Mazakonski. I mean, we're really
Ah.
for New Orleans. We're
Right.
really for New Orleans. I don't
Shagado
think we
would be
have
great,
like a.
Shagado.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we can carry like a brass band because the
Yeah.
stage is too
Right,
little.
right.
But we are for New Orleans, and I try to have more Latin jazz.
Right.
But but we're really for New Orleans music.
That's great.
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. You were saying something, Margo, and I interrupted you.
It was about the music. I was
Oh,
going
okay.
to ask about the music. But can we get back to a little bit about your rock and roll art days?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Well,
Because I'm just curious about it a little bit because it's an unusual art form, and I'd just like
Yeah.
you to talk about that
what
a little
happened
bit.
is that when
You were
when-
like Decatur Dada, right? Decatur Street Dada.
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, what happened is that when I was little, I had this big responsibility on my shoulders. I'm the oldest of 11 children. So I mean, my
I just
my
have
grandma,
to say Jesus right now.
yeah, my
have
grandma
two.
and my mother, they give me this responsibility about being
Are they all still in Mexico?
yeah,
Okay.
all
None of
that.
them have moved here?
No, nobody,
Okay.
nobody. One of the, I mean, I'm kind of like one of those samples about by the immigration debate. Nobody in my family, 28 nieces, 7 sisters, 3 brothers, nobody wants to come to the United States.
All right.
It's you know.
So they tell stories about you back in Mexico. You're mythical there.
Well, kind of, I guess. Kind of. I mean, they think that I'm Santa Claus on I mean, like in December. They expect, I'm not Santa Claus.
Yeah.
I cannot bring gifts, presents for 35 people. I can't do that.
You're like Bilbo Baggins. You remember that? Like in he's the only one that left, and everybody's like, "Where did he go? What did he do?" He's like mysterious. Yeah.
Well, I mean, my mother and my grandmother have this huge responsibility that I took. Like, they want me to be a scholar, to be a well-educated man, to be well-mannered and successful and rich, and possibly in the politics. They want me to be the president of Mexico, or to be a
That's
senator,
a little pressure.
or to be
Probably,
or
just
to
a
be
little.
like a senator. And when I was little, I knew that I loved to be around people. And I knew that I was talented to do many things. I play guitar, I paint, I dance, and I used to get paid for that. And I used to write too. I used to write in magazines and newspapers. So I knew that I don't need to work 9 to 7 or 9 to 5 to make money. I knew that very young, and I pursued my art. But on the other hand, I have just to deliver to my to my family. I mean, this is very emotional for me because I didn't want to go to school, but I was good in school. So I was in a scholarship all my life. My government paid for my education. I actually came with a grant to the United States with a J-1 visa, and this was all to please my mother.
So you came for school?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
so where'd you go?
I went to Tulane.
Oh, so you went to Tulane undergraduate too, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's how you got to America.
And I
was
came,
from, okay.
and I came with a teacher. I mean, I came like to teach. But first time that I came to the United States, I came to see a rock concert. So I came to see the Who. Like
You
the
came to
last-
see the Who?
Yeah.
Where?
Oh
Yeah.
gosh.
LA Coliseum.
At the Coliseum here in New
No,
Orleans?
no, LA.
Oh, in L.A.
LA
Oh,
Coliseum.
wow.
Yeah.
Okay. That was the years before you came to Tulane? Or
Oh
was it
yeah,
right
oh
before?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So what happened is that you have like
The Who never
you
played
have
in
like
Mexico
a
City?
Oh no.
Really?
No, never.
That's shocking.
Never.
Huh.
I mean, we didn't have rock concerts until maybe late 80s.
What?
We never, yeah. The Rolling Stones were scheduled in 77 for one of the world tours, and the Mexican government did not allow the Rolling Stones to play in Mexico because they pervert the young and the society. That was like the thinking, like
What the hell? Really?
the Catholic leagues. You know what they do, like in Madonna when she's in Italy, stuff like that. That used to happen in Mexico. So
Mexico's so secular, though.
yeah,
too,
well,
huh? But, like,
yes,
yeah,
but no in the 70s,
anti-clerical
no
and
in
all
the no in the 80s.
Wow.
Yeah, gay marriage is legal in Mexico City at this
Yeah,
moment.
right.
But when I was young, we were all repressed, so they didn't want to see
Yeah, but the
Black Sabbath.
In the
or
middle of the Bible Belt, though, you could go to Birmingham and these other places in the 50s and hear rock concerts. How the hell could you not have rock concerts
no,
in Mexico? That's
no,
weird.
No. So I was a teacher in that time. I was like an elementary teacher, and I put
That's
together
shocking
some
to
money.
me.
So I came to United States to watch concerts. And in the middle of the time, my money was getting smaller and smaller. So what I did, I started to do stuff on the street.
In LA?
Do stuff on the street.
In LA, and I used to go to concerts like in New York or to San Francisco. So I started to paint on the street, and I used to start to make money. So then I say, oh my God, I'm making a lot of money.
But you got to tell our audience about how you were painting, because it's very. I mean, I saw you, and
did it start out
I
like
lived
that
in the
at the
quarter.
beginning?
Yeah, but explain what the
Must have
art form
developed,
is.
right?
And
Well, I have about 50 spray cans and blank piece of paper. I'm able to create something that you will see as an illustration in Air and Space magazine or in Heavy Metal magazine in 10 minutes. And I will sell it for $40. And I used to make, even like $2,000 in one night. $1,000 in one night.
Wait, so you
That's
you
a
sell it to a
lot
magazine, you get $40. You sell it on the streets, you make $2,000.
No,
No.
Oh.
He's saying it looked like an illustration from
Oh,
a
gotcha.
magazine.
From a magazine.
But
Okay.
and how long did it take you to make
It took
one?
me like 10 minutes. Yeah. It took me
10
like
minutes?
Really quite
To make
amazing.
Wait, you
Yes.
sell one piece for
He would
$2,000? You
spray.
sell
No,
lots?
$40.
No.
$40.
Every 10 minutes, I make a piece for the whole day, and I sold all of them. I
Like-
mean, like I get there, like in Jackson Square, I used to get there about 6 p.m., and I work from 6 p.m. to 1 in the morning. Every single piece that I paint from 6 p.m. to 1 in the morning, it was sold for $40 each.
Oh, I got you. So you do lots
And it's
lots
very
of those.
dramatic, though. It was
each
theatrical.
one is different. And each one is different. I used to put a big boom box, I used to put things like Colonel's Quartet or like, Rick Wakeman, The Journey, The Center of the Earth. Or I used to put like Stravinsky, like The Firebird. Or I used to put like, I used to put like Voodoo Child with I have
And you
like my
move
music.
to it,
and I
right?
move, and I move the spray cans, my body, and the people just from all over the world, they used to come and buy my paintings.
It's mesmerizing to watch.
Now,
But
how
I
do you
get
do this
tired.
for a lot of years,
But I get
right?
tired.
Yeah.
Well, it must have been a workout too, right?
One of the things, one of the things that people do not understand about talent, about artists, is that there's a point that you can get tired and you can get bored. I mean,
And you're
you
doing
can
it year
s-
round. It's 95 degrees and 90% humidity. You're out there all day dancing
Yeah.
around doing this stuff, and you have to be.
But not
creative,
only
too.
that, I mean, like I know musicians, they are on the road.
Yeah.
They are tired. They enjoy what they do, but they don't show that. It's just show business. And there is a moment that you want to be an artist. It's just all beautiful, and it's cool to be talented. But there is a moment when there's many demons like involved with your talent, and they are the demons that I didn't want to have with my family, I didn't raise one of my children, my oldest child, and I never forgive myself about that. I love my child. I always support him, I mean, like economically, but I wasn't around,
Is he back in Mexico?
Yeah, and with my second child, he's with me. He works with me. I'm really proud of him. I love him, and that make me such a better creature, like what it was. And the art was in between my family, the adulation, the women, the drugs, the alcohol, the sex. New Orleans can be very toxic for an artist,
Yeah.
So I decided to retire from this thing,
And how long? How many years?
Well, I paint like 20 years.
20 years you're
Yeah.
out there, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I paint in Europe. I mean, big
So
collections,
you leave and then come back and.
But the only thing, but the thing is that it wasn't only the street. For many years, I had like a double life as a fine artist, and street artist. The modus vivendi was the street, and the modus operandi was the galleries and the CAC and all these big shows that I never really make money. The street was the one who supported me. So I mean, for many years. But New Orleans charged a toll with many artists, and not just with me. So I get tired, I get bored, a little bit sick, and I think I'm a very fresh soul for the restaurant business. I mean, I'm very excited about what I'm doing, and I respect. I'm kind of critical, but I can be very opinionated. But believe me, I do respect this field so much. And
Which field? The restaurant field?
yeah, and it's kind of like a paradigm for life, because I really believe that somebody that is successful in restaurant business can be successful with life too. And it's one of the hardest things that I ever experienced in my life. Restaurant, I think, is like the biggest challenge that I ever have in my life, and I have so many.
It's very
And the restaurant's the
many.
hardest, huh?
This is like the hardest.
Yeah.
But we are making it. I mean, we were just named one of the best patios in New Orleans, and people is loving us, and it's hard every week, every day. I never experienced anything like that.
Now you live above it, so you can't get away from it. What hours are you open?
We open yes. Hours, please.
We're doing lunch and dinner now from Wednesday through Saturday. So 11 to 3 for lunch, 5 to close for dinner. And we have live music Friday and Saturday, so we're open until 12 o'clock at night. We do a brunch on Sunday as well.
Okay, so Monday and Tuesday you're closed.
Monday and Tuesday we're closed. I also have to add something with Hugo's Art. We had talked about the Day of the Dead party that we're doing November 2nd. Starting at 8 p.m. And I believe Hugo was talking about doing some sort of art.
Oh, yeah. As a matter of fact, the Day of the Dead is, it's a big thing here in the United States. But I was the first person to have the Day of the Dead here in New Orleans. We have an altar at the CAC about 15 years ago, more like a pop art installation, It's very funny for me, like the whole thing about skulls, because when the Europeans came to the New World, when the Europeans came to the New World, they saw these skulls, they erased, they demolished all these temples, and now you see all these Caucasians, with a skull tattoos, a skull
Everything in Austin's Day of the Dead logo. Everything there.
So it's kind of, it's kind of ironic.
Yeah.
But we are going to celebrate Day of the Dead in Casa Borrega, November the 2nd, and
November
I'm going
2nd.
to put a big altar, kind of like a pop art altar there. When I have a costume party, fun, food.
You'll see our
free,
ad in the Gambit.
free, yeah.
Yes.
So.
We're going to do
Wonderful.
costume party. We're going to have live music.
Awesome.
Art exhibit as well. So it's going to be a blast. It's another day that you can actually dress up other than
Cool.
Halloween.
I need
So
I need more of
New
those. right?
Orleans people love this. So please come and dress up and have a cocktail.
All right. Huh. Well, now is a lot of your art in the restaurant too?
No,
a lot of
no.
it? No. How come?
Nothing. No, I mean, my ego is down. That's it. Yeah, but the whole restaurant
humble.
it's a piece of art.
How so? That's interesting.
Well,
yeah.
every single inch of the restaurant is a salvage material renovation that my friend Ricardo Ponce and me did for 4 years. Every single inch, and when I mean that, I really mean it. I mean, I'm describing every single inch of Casa Borrega, salvage materials. Many
Right,
of
so
the green
Linda
projects.
probably was helpful with that as well.
Well, we also
no, she's
recycle.
my inspiration,
Okay.
and she designed it. She designed it. She did like she's an architect from Berkeley, so
Yeah.
she designed the plans. It's her vision and my vision together. But the whole restaurant is very hip. But it's just like a little masterpiece, like a little jewel. And I hate to say that, but I know what I do, and I know it really well. It cost me 4 years. It's a little, jewel of like renovation, salvage materials, recycling.
Now, when you say it took 4 years, I mean were you working on it pretty steadily for the 4
Every
years? It was
every
like
day,
every day for 4 years. Wow.
Every day.
And when
Every
you
day.
go in and see it,
Yeah.
you're going to see. I mean,
You'll see all the detail.
Yes, and the atmosphere is just.
Thank you,
I mean,
Marco.
even if people don't understand literally what physically went into it, you can't help but feel it. It's like going into a church in Europe, and someone may not know anything about architecture or the labor of love that goes into it, but you feel a sense of an elevation, and I feel that y'all
Thank you, Margo.
you have created that.
Casa Borrega is actually my best piece of artwork ever done. The
Now-
whole concept. We didn't have too much money. I wish that I can have more money.
So are there
to do
themes that
more.
run through it? What are some of those? Or is there sort of a
Everything-
controlling principle? Or
Everything is very Mexican, but New Orleans, like the New Orleans vernacular architecture experience. We have like the capitals, we have the bead board, we have the columns. We have the. I mean, I have
Now,
pieces.
how do you
from,
make those Mexican? Like, how do you combine that with
Well,
Mexican? Do you
well,
have Mexican
but
colors
the
with them, or-
Spaniards, the Spaniards were in Mexico, the New Spain and all that, and basically like what you get, I mean, what you get in San Miguel, what you see in Tasco, what you see some of the churches in Mexico City, it's just very similar to what you see here in New Orleans. It's just to change the color, you know. If you change like the French Quarter green, that is actually a color when you go to Home Depot, you go to Helm Paint, you know, you ask for that green, they call it French Quarter green.
Right.
That's
Right,
like
right.
French Quarter green. You know that green, right?
My shoulders are French Quarter.
Okay,
green,
so
yeah.
you just change like a little bit the French Quarter green with a Rosa Mexicano with a Mexican rose,
Huh.
and it's the same piece, you know. It's like the mantles,
Yeah.
We convert some of the mantles in like pieces for the wall. Well, you have to see it. It's just like
Right.
blending, you know. I'm very respectful of the New Orleans style, at much that when you are in Casa Borrega from outside, it just looks like a house. It looks like an uptown house. There's nothing that they will tell you it's a Mexican restaurant. There's no pinks or oranges or jellos or anything like
You
that.
said it
It's-
was built 1892.
yeah. But inside it's kind of like I don't know, you know, it's kind of like a candy shop for many people. I have guitars, I have rock concert T-shirts, I have albums, you know, and Mexican masks.
Well,
Wait,
So
let me
in
ask you
agreement
about.
with what-
Oh,
the-
sorry.
I was just to piggyback on what you said, in agreement with that. You know, I've read that, you know, the fire that happened in the French Quarter in 1788 destroyed the old French architecture, and actually it was Spanish at that point, and it was only French again for a few months before it went over to Louisiana Purchase. So the stuff that we think of as the oldest stuff in the French Quarter, and the stuff was built with that same style, isn't actually French in style. It's Spanish and
Thank you, Ray.
and more
Thank
Latin
you.
American, and so we associate with French because that was the language that was spoken in the city, but actually the style and the people that were overseeing it was all actually Latin American. It was more Mexican.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I've
I
read
do
about
want to
that.
say one more thing about Casa Borrega that will definitely appeal to the people that you're speaking to is that we recycle absolutely everything.
Wow.
I have separate trash cans behind my bar for glass, for aluminum, for cardboard, for paper, and then I have my regular trash. I think that's really important to say. It's something that I have never seen anywhere else in any restaurant establishment that I've had.
Yeah, we don't
around
use
here.
styrofoam at
No.
all, you know. I mean, we have those dryers at the bathroom. I mean, like everything there.
Composting
Everything
and
is
composting.
locally
Yeah, this
bought
ev-
and freshly juiced, and it's just
Oh, that's good.
Oh,
to-
that's great.
everything's local.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And we
Everything.
spend more money because that. But,
Right.
you know,
It's
I mean,
worth
like
it.
the
It's
overhead,
absolutely worth it.
it's worth it. I mean,
Yeah.
people is happy. People is
It makes
happy.
things better. Too.
Yeah.
What were you saying, Margot?
Well, I wanted to hear a little bit more about the food and just your vision behind the food. It's not New Orleans style Mexican
No,
food,
no, no,
though,
no.
right?
Not
It's all,
No. I mean, you know, one of the things I'm very skeptical, and I respect everybody, believe me. Sometimes people think that when you have an accent, you are very serious. I mean, really, like, well, you know, I'm your father. It's like, you know, very, very funny because when Anakin was Anakin, he didn't have an accent. He's just like, you know, like a middle.
Are you talking
Middle
about
wa-
Star Wars?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I just
You
wanted to
know,
make sure I was
Who in
getting
Star
that.
Wars?
Okay, you know, when Anakin.
Luke, I am your father.
Anakin. Who's
Okay,
Anakin?
Anakin
Anakin is the
Skywalker.
father.
Oh my gosh, what are we talking
Anakin
about?
Skywalker.
Okay. Yeah, I got it.
When
I remember now.
Anakin, he's a kid.
Yeah.
He's a beautiful Caucasian white kid.
And he got older
with-
and he got an accent.
Exactly how that happened.
How'd that happen?
How that happened?
Because they wanted to be more
Wait a minute.
profound. That's brilliant.
How that happened? How that happened?
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna
Midwest,
develop an accent as I get older.
Midwest English, you know,
Yeah.
and then it's like I'm your father. Like
Yeah,
he has an accent.
Yeah, he's a large black man later.
That's
yeah, right.
unbelievable. So
Yeah.
people believe that when you have an accent, either you're
James Earl
stupid,
Jones did
you are
that for-
stupid,
Yeah.
or you're very serious. And I would say to the people, you know, I don't think with an accent.
I don't
Just
think
leave-
with an
I don't
accent.
think with an accent.
Just listen to me. Man. Just listen to me. The question is very simple. When the Spaniards came, they brought the cows, you know, horses, the pigs.
Turkeys. You said
Sorry to
turkeys
debate
before,
that.
yeah.
And the Aztecs, they have cactus, they have the corn, they have the beans, they have the peppers, the vanilla, the chocolate, the tomato. Okay. The food in central Mexico still remains Aztec, Indian,
Yeah.
Mesoamerican. The closest that you are with the United States, the closer that you are to the cheddar cheese waves, all these waves that, hard to surf. There's this chili, flabby chili masses of like, not really. It's like when you see those plates, it's like.
Or big burritos. Like
Well,
this big.
I'm not going to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. But but my mom.
Wait, you don't have burritos at your
No,
restaurant?
we don't.
No,
I'm not going.
That's Tex-Mex.
We don't have.
kidding.
Okay,
That's amazing
I'm going to
things there.
scare you. We don't have burritos. We don't have nachos.
No
we don't have
nachos.
no nachos. No chimichangas.
Yeah.
No chimichangas.
No fajitas.
What the hell? I thought this
No
was like Taco
enchiladas.
Bell. What are you
That's
talking
an
about?
No
American
enchiladas.
view. Stop.
No enchiladas. And recently, because the people is very impatient, we have been giving away chips and salsa. But we
they're
are
homemade.
but we
Homemade
don't.
chips.
It's
Don't
a
do
It's a
it.
concession. It's a
It's
compromise.
It's a
Don't give it
concession.
away.
That's a wedge. It's a wedge.
But this week we stopped this and we're gonna do chicharrones and salsa.
Chicharrones
Good for
and
you.
guacamole too.
Yeah, we're gonna do
Alright.
like the pork skins,
Oh,
We're
it's
do- yes,
amazing.
Yes,
Yes.
yeah.
Oh.
And
So
we're
we're
gonna
no-
make our
Okay.
own as well.
Yes,
so
so
it's our
You
own.
want me back. When you were giving me a
Unfortunately-
list of what you didn't have, you were losing me. Now you got to now you got to
Okay.
fill it
Yeah,
back up again. You got to tell me what you do have.
we're
Our
coming to the end, so I want
tamales,
y'all
our
to
tacos,
tell us
our
what
lingua,
you have.
our conchiglie.
Wait. You got to tell us what's
Slower.
in it.
Uh,
Yeah,
I'm
slower.
sorry,
And,
I'm
and
sorry.
Slow it
I'm
down,
so
baby.
excited about this menu.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah.
I'm so sorry. No, the menu is beautiful. We have wonderful tamales that range from queso and poblano. We have vegetarian tacos that are fresh grilled local vegetables. We have different meats that kind of change upon the week that you're in because we do cook them overnight. So
We
you're
have
going to have the
pastor.
borrego.
Mhm.
You are going to have the conchiglie pibil, which is a pork. It's marinated with pineapple and spices. We also
Banana leaves too.
banana leaves.
Yeah.
Um,
Pibil is a Mayan word that means buret.
That means what?
They buret, like bure, B-U-R-I-E-D.
I don't know what that means. It's
Beer.
not your accent. I don't know the.
Say it
Bure-
spelled again.
Bury, like when you when you bury a
A
body.
puree.
Puree?
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
no, no,
No,
no,
No.
I'm terrible at
Um,
accents too.
When somebody dies,
Oh,
what
bury,
you do,
bury.
buried. Sorry, that's
Sorry, yeah,
terrible.
yeah.
Yeah.
Bury.
So I mean, what the Mayans do, they make this hole 10 feet, and then they put a bunch of banana leaves. They
Okay.
put the coal, just like the Cajuns.
Yeah.
And they throw the whole pig. And then,
And
like the next
Cubans
day,
do it too,
they
yeah,
just
yeah. Right.
with
Yeah.
with the lechon,
Yeah.
they do that. When the only difference is the spices in the Yucatan Peninsula are like fiery. I mean the Cubans, because the Spanish, the Spanish heritage, the rice, the beans. This is not. I mean, they drop the whole jungle in that. No, really, they drop the whole jungle of spices there, and then when the pig comes, it's like even red. It's just like the Cajuns, like this. That's the
So what-
cochinita
Now, yeah.
pibil.
So what do you serve that is like that? What is
I mean,
representative of
the
that?
cochinita pibil is from Yucatan. It's very popular, and you serve it as a special plate with with rice and vegetables, or you can do it with tacos. You can
Okay.
do it with tacos, but
probably
like
one of my
it's
favorite
the
dishes.
same like the carnitas. Carnitas means little meats. Nobody in New Orleans. We try to do that. People is not very excited about the carnitas here because we do it the real way. The carnita.
Keep doing it though. Keep doing
Well-
it. I gotta.
What happened is to
We're
the
out of time,
carnita.
unfortunately,
So the
Mario.
carnita is the nose, the ears, all these things.
Yes.
Ah.
The cheek. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I was just thought of 3
And
or
it's
4
coo- it's
restaurants in my
cooked
head that
with-
serve canitas, but that's not it.
It's
different.
cooked with
Yeah.
lard, which is actually very beautiful. Like it's one of the best meats that I've had at this place.
Yeah, what they serve there is just like shredded pork. That's
No,
not
that's
a
not-
carnita.
okay.
That's not carnitas.
No, I've had. I know one
Or
place
like
that
a slow
serves like a
roasted?
steak. It's a steak and they call it a
No.
carnita.
That's not a
yeah.
carnita.
And it means
Absolutely
meat,
wrong,
so
absolutely
technically
wrong.
it's true, right? But
Yeah.
it's not.
Yeah.
It's not the way it's
Yeah.
supposed to be.
We are
We are out of
authentic.
time, unfortunately.
You guys gracious.
Yeah, this went by so fast.
You're lovely. Thank you very
We'll
much.
have to have you back soon. This has been a pleasure. We've had as our guest on Midnight Menu Plus One, Hugo Montero. and Jessica Gall of Casa Borrega.
Beautiful.
No, that's not it.
Beautiful.
Borrega.
Casa
Thank you, Margaret.
Borrega.
I can't
Casa
do it.
Borrega.
I'm
Casa
so embarrassing.
Borrega.
Casa
Can you change the name
Borrega.
to something French, please, for me? I can't pronounce it. Okay, but it sounds delicious, and thank you so much for being with us and spending this time
Muchas gracias.
with us this evening. Our show is recorded live at Ted's Frost Top on Claiborne Avenue in Calhoun in Uptown New Orleans. Ted's is open 7 days a week, serving first-class burgers, beer, and their awesome homemade root beer in a frosty mug. Midnight Menu Plus One is produced by Grant Morris, and Chris Keogh is our technical director. And this fabulous audio quality that you hear is by PreSonus Audio Electronics. Makes all kinds of wonderful things. Visit PreSonus.com for more information. You can get in touch with us here at Midnight Menu Plus One by going to our website. It's NewOrleans.com, and from there you can follow us on Twitter, find us on Facebook, sign up for our mailing list, get all kinds of swag. And while you're at itsneworleans.com, you can listen to other episodes of Midnight Menu Plus One and our other shows, Happy Hour, Mindset, True to the Game, Be It NOLA, Out to Lunch, and others. And if you're listening to the show on iTunes, please rate us and review us. It helps other people to find us. Midnight Menu Plus One is a production of INO Broadcasting for itsneworleans.com. Till we meet here again at Ted's Frost Top, I am Ray Canada.
And I'm Margot Moss. Thanks.
You know Labor Day signals the unofficial end of summer, but not the end of your outdoor projects. Lowe's helps you do it right and helps you save with Labor Day deals throughout the store. Shop now and get 2 bags of Stay Green potting mix for $12. And keep your lawn looking neat and trim with a Craftsman 2-cycle 17-inch gas string trimmer, now $20 off at just $119. Whatever's still on your to-do list this Labor Day, do it right for less. Start with Lowe's. Offers valid through 8/28. Soil offer excludes Alaska and Hawaii, U.S. only.